So I was saying that, yeah, like, how is this directly recorded or it's not recording that part?
Uh, you don't
Yeah,
know what is happening, but fine,
yeah,
start.
yeah. So I was saying that in this pre-acts part, the main problem was that they have faced was some of the stuff regarding their competitors, which they could not get up with those parts. But we need like two things what we can do for that particular part is first to switch the signals part with some product analysis part, or what we can do is like if you want to focus on the collecting the social dev part itself, then we can focus more on like internal talks and directly connecting with the CRMs itself. Instead of focusing on the social platforms, we can just focus on two or three social platforms like just LinkedIn, X, and Reddit part, and not focusing on the stuff like Group.io or Medium articles or those stuff. So it if we like suppress the stuff and just connect those stuff which would be required, like connecting their Gmail, connecting their like G Cloud and everything part. So I guess we could do something out of that if we could think of. So majorly two stuff were there. Like first is regarding something like post hog, like collecting the products analytics, or the other part would be regarding this part which I said that instead of focusing on many signals, just to be more accurate on the signals, we can increase the internal signals and the customer which actually were existing, we can like gather more details from that part. So if you have something to like, if you have some idea regarding those stuff, you can directly speak of right now. Because like one of that problem which I faced was that this part only was majorly most of the founders which I contacted with them was saying that for them it was more important to gather the information from their current customers than to gather information from their potential customers, because generally the potential customer comes from the networking or something like that. So like if you have any idea like how can we focus on the signals part, how can we focus to make something which would be more focused for something what they want, like we want some bigger market to play on in that zone, if you have some idea.
Okay, so basically, I understood the point based on your discussion with some of the founders that right now, let me explain this issue to Anuma also. I think Anuma is
Yeah,
here. So right now, basically in Signals part, what we are doing earlier that we are collecting the market data directly from different social sites, and we are thinking and we are trying to analyze those insights from different platforms, and we're trying to uh, calculate and analyze the some kind of correct output which could help in giving suggestions for the features or to solve some bugs. What I found is that yeah, it's true that the data which we have collected from the market and different platforms, that's a huge amount of raw data, and 100% of raw data. We want some 1% of the high quality data, which could be turned into some kind of feature suggestions or some kind of analysis. But the thing is that getting 1% of extracting 1% of quality correct data out of 100% of raw data from social platforms randomly is a based on accuracy, it's a pretty tough task, and it will take up a lot of time to build this properly, which works in a very functional way and maybe more adaptable. So yeah, this is the main issue, I guess, right? Am I right?
yeah, yeah.
Hello.
So that was the main issue. regarding like it's tough enough to solve, but even if we do solve it, the main problem still left was regarding those part that people want their current customers feedback more, and other than focusing on random social media noise or something like that.
Okay, so basically, we want some features or tools like that so that whatever the signals part we are building, that should focus on current or existing users or customers more instead of focusing on some random potential customer because that is anyway that is a random thing and we can't completely decide that. But since if customer is onboarded and then we can completely analyze them and just say ki whether will be they continuing with us or not or something like that or what kind of features they need. So we want our signal features to be molded in that way to focus on the existing customer experience so that those signal features directly works on the existing customers and accordingly we can basically solve for that feature or bug. So it's something like as you gave the example of post hog or I think like post hog collects different user behaviors like clicking of the button or different kind of metric and some smaller version of post hog, let's say Rybit is there, which is also used to connect different kind of analytics. But here the Rybit is the web platform based analytics, but Postdoc is more vast and open source, and Postdoc contain more web-based analytics plus some of the like application-based analytics, right?
Yeah, so as you said, like I have
So
screenshot that part. So you can see,
yeah,
you can directly see here the main stuff which Postdoc does is like you can see the product analytics, web analytics, sessions replay. What do I mean by session replay is something like what human behavior does. There is a company named Human Behavior who like try to guess the user's behavior based on their particular session recordings. So what it does is like maybe I have an X product. So if Ronit is using my X product, then he would record his session, and using the recorded session, it was just gather the information like this. If you can see in this video, if the user is using a particular product, yeah, yeah, you can just see. If user is moving their mouse in some direction, it would inspect the DOM or view the heat map and everything on that particular part, and then give you the chat feature when you can directly chat with the stuff and everything. So this was how it actually works. It can collect thousand up to thousand data for free. So this was the main stuff, and then it would just auto discover workflows. It would proactively detect issues or like dynamically user cohorts. It would just arrange different user cohorts from that part. It in real time, it would just update those stuff also in Slack or different channels and reach to the users by different outreach method. Even it would mail the particular startup founder regarding the use of their particular product. So you can see they do have customer majorly from YC because they are a YC backed startup. So we can think something like in this zone regarding the combination regarding this human behavior and post hoc. But point is like even if we do build it instead of signals part, it's tough to compete with the funded startups in their zones. So we can do something which would help us to build this part. So if you do have some idea regarding those stuff, like what I can see is like we can go in two different ways. First is regarding uh, PM project management plus something like post hog, which gives the product analysis and the user their current users analysis. And the other part is regarding gathering information from different social platforms and the CRM based platforms along with connecting it with the project management part. So we can do this two stuff right now as what I can think of right now, but both have their like plus or minus points because gathering information for something like post hog can be problematic because there are existing solutions like even post hog and human behavior. What I thought while just analyzing the data using GPT-1 was that we can build something like post hog but for AI one. Yeah, yeah, Ronit.
Hello.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So yeah, nothing. I just listening to your points that like we
you can
need
see
some
this
kind
part,
of features.
this
Yeah.
screen one. Yeah.
Building for AI features tracking what happens after.
What I had two ideas regarding the user part was that what we can do is like we can do two stuff. First is stuff like post hog, but giving it an agentic flow where you can directly fix those part which user wants. You can directly fix those part and prepare a spec analysis and everything based on that part for the particular AI agent, and then assign the AI agent directly. And you can give an MCP to the AI agents like Cursor, Copilot, or anything, which can use that MCP to get the like the what you can say like is user feedback. To gather user feedback, they can get the MCP part, and using that MCP, they can directly make edits to their particular stuff in their code editors. So one is that way. Another part which I told was the thing which is shown in the screen right now regarding the post hoc, but for majorly for AI features, which means preparing the evals part and everything and gathering what generally AI answers on some X question by the user and determining what in which way the particular AI agent is currently hallucinating and gathering that information, then fixing it with some new evals and new stuff to later fix it for the further part. So these were some ideas which I could thought of right now.
Yeah, I like that point that what you said, like post hog sees the buttons and different kind of clicks. Accordingly, the tracking of different kind of AI agents, I think that niche it can be very useful. I mean, right now, as you can see, there are a lot of applications even which have integrated AI agents in their workflow, where agents have different multiple functions, even in browsers, even in code editors, and in various of the applications which various startup, early stage startup, mid stage startup are building. They're using different kind of agents to analyze for different functionalities. So instead of just focusing on a simple button clicks or something like that, if we build some kind of simple SDK to uh, track the interaction with the AI, then I think that would be a very great feature. Maybe we need to do a lot of marketing research. Maybe we need to do a lot of searching around that. But I like this idea of like this for AI features or AI interactions because anyways right now from now onwards whatever the new applications are
It's
coming they would
actually what I read earlier in this chat
have
itself
some kind of AI
was
features.
like earlier what I read was this part where it gave me an idea regarding stuff for the AI part itself was this that what we can do is like we can add our replica like the user's application, then user would add our our particular products layer, then whatever the user asks to the particular system, it would go to our layer. It would just read whether the user is asking something which like is follows the governance and security of the particular product, and if it is yes, then it would go to the model. It would just return the model's output and check the model's output whether the output is under the governance and security part, and then it would release it in the particular app again. So what it would do is like it would analyze the things like where the stuff broke, or like it would just on call incidents in like it would just do this stuff. So it's majorly you can do is like you can just check the model output breakcode, means if there is some invalid JSON files or a schema mismatch or some hallucination fields or something like that, and you can just get this stuff right from this part. So yeah, like there are something which we can do in this AI part, but the same concern is like it is quite like technically tough part to build these things, because generally the AI are like kind of black box and you can't judge an AI based on another AI that well it has hallucinated or not. So yeah, so that was my main concern. Like how can we judge that a particular AI is hallucinating based on another AI?
Uh, I think we shouldn't move to the feature of hallucination part and all. I think that is a part that we should keep to other companies. Based on the idea which you have discussed, I was more focused on the part where basically we will have some kind of SDK, basically some kind of plug and play SDKs, which kind of dev tools which other developers or people can integrate while building some AI agents or some kind of AI features in their applications. And if they just integrate those, then they will get various kind of metrics for individual AI agents and also some kind of comparison and analytics between them like post hoc give for different kind of buttons. We can give some kind of metrics for different kind of AI agents directly. Not it won't just track the buttons click, but maybe
So like
tracking the how the
something like
response
if
of the
user
AI
is
is.
using Claude and some user is using Gemini, then in which one like users are more interested in or something like that. Like user generally use which model
Yeah,
for what
something like
part.
that. Yeah. Let's say some user there is a email client which is a AI based email client. Let's say Notion email client, and let's say people use a Notion email. We
Yeah,
can
your
build some.
voice, your
Hello.
voice, your voice could not be heard. Yeah, yeah, you're audible.
So let's say there is example of email client, AI-based email client. So in that, developer can use our SDK to add a different AI agents function in that email client. Let's say there will be agent to write email, there will be agent to analyze email, there will be agent to search some particular kind of email, there will be agent to schedule meets according to the email. So there will be different kind of agents like that, and we can build some kind of analytics tool around that. And right now, whatever the applications are coming, they're basically agent based. So if we focus more on existing product, like as we have discussed, the focusing on the original market, raw market is very difficult, and even though we get the data, it is very tough to analyze it. So while focusing on the existing customers, we can build some tools around agent SDK to analyze that different agent behaviors on the functionalities and how different customers use particular kind of agent. Maybe something like that.
Just we can what we can do is like analyze this stuff for a week and then come back next week with some like significant research about what we can do in the particular area or field which we want to work in. So we can just think of some of the stuff regarding this thing for a week. Just get back
Uh,
to something which could work.
Fine, fine. I'll also search some things about this, and yeah, it will be a very good pivot if we do this. So yeah, I'll take time. We'll take time. We'll search some features like
Yeah, just we can just go through the
how
stuff
I'll
and
be
then return back next week.
in the signals part. Other two part are very fine. We don't need any
Yeah,
changes there.
other two part does work. Even the signals part is fine, but the problem is like the actual signals which we are collecting right now is not something which we should collect. What I guess is like it's some of the stuff are do well relevant, like collecting the LinkedIn, X, Reddit are important parts, but things like Hacker News. So for that Hacker News part, generally the companies which are on Hacker News are majorly those companies which are funded by YC or they are quite big enterprise companies. So it's not what our potential customer would be using it. And generally the data on Hacker News are updated quite slow. What we want is like we want daily updates on the product. So we could focus on something where it would be more relevant. So just we can think of some stuff, or like what we can do is like even the post hoc would be having some API keys or something, so we can get the post hoc data like regarding how many users are using it and those stuff also to enhance the particular part in our particular uh, recommendation system or something. We can think of it for a week and then get back in the next week itself.
Fine, we'll check on it. I'll also search about it and let's see how I'll design this part. It'll be very good if we
Yeah,
come
would
up with
share
something fine.
like would share some stuff and Discord itself if I get something. We can discuss
Okay.
that part. Other than that, like a small good news or something would be that GitMesh would be presenting two speech at Open Search Con China in Shanghai in March. So it would be a great event, and our upcoming event is with GitHub on 13th Feb, before which we do have to make the complete MVP ready. So we need to work more faster for that part also.
Yeah, for
I
that
had a
part right now.
suggestion, like rather than doing the complete pivot from signals part, can we develop a system that would flag the existing customers or the customers that business marks as high quality, and then we can focus only on the signals generated by those customers and not try to chase everything that is being posted about the business.
Yeah, actually, what I was thinking was that, but only like we can focus on connecting the internal teams and the current customers' feedback part only, instead of focusing more on like we can do connect the social parts like Reddit, but like other than the Reddit, this LinkedIn and X, we can forget about the other integrations and we can focus more on the integrations which brings our current customers and something like which we can focus on more on our current customers and everything. Yeah, like I particularly myself also don't want to pivot the whole part. I just want to pivot something that we can focus more on the current customers and get something which they would like to just switch for the particular product. Yeah, let's see for that particular part also. I would just like gather more information on this stuff also. Get back with some more relevant part because from morning I was just reading more and more stuff because I had an interview with one of the guy yesterday. So some of the stuff which he told were I thought relevant. Like YC do tell people to like focus more on their current customers. So I was like just figuring out what to do or what not to do further. So I would just read out those part. Even you can just give me suggestions on like Discord or WhatsApp or anything, and like we can build something till next week also. Like you can just research on some of the stuff or some of the ideas which you have. If I do have some ideas, I would just share it on WhatsApp or Discord. Like personally, even my interest is not to change the whole idea because it would take another more time to build that part again. So what I want is to change a pivot something which is very small part of the whole product and then continue building the stuff. We can do that part also.
We could also do is reduce the current uh, implementation to only something that is more useful, and the pivot can be added as an extra feature that we might build in the future, but not focus on it currently.
Actually, the problem which was I was facing was that part when we would be deploying those part. Currently, I was working on to deploy that particular part, and I calculated the cost and everything for deployment of the whole platform. So the cost was quite high. The main problem was we were using temporal, open search, and some of those stuff which requires heavy computations. So the problem is if we don't charge a slightly higher amount, then it would be more over a loss one rather than getting some profit. So like we do need to like reduce some of the features and focus on those features which are currently more used by the current users or current what the current market wants. So for that reason only I could not add another feature. That's why only I was like trying to pivot for some stuff. But I would keep the current code also as it is. I would just try to change a minor part and just comment out the part which I would remove. I won't remove it directly from the code. I would just comment it out from the current code base. Also, the one of the problem which I faced was regarding the product hunts API. The product hunt API which I had integrated in the platform, one of the problem was that that product hunts API can't be used for commercial purpose, which I actually read it afterwards. So I had to remove the product hunts API key. So there were some like problems like those parts. And earlier I thought of adding the Gmail and everything, but then the Claude bot, like the CLAWD Claude bot had just came, so we even can't do that part also because it's currently open source and available for free. So we can't even focus on that part also. We would just gather more information and like instead of like just randomly doing anything, I would plan for a day or more and then would decide what to build further or something. You can just go like just send me WhatsApp message or Discord if you have any idea regarding this stuff. Yeah, so we can
Fine.
Yeah, we can meet next week. Till then, just gather more and more information, whatever you can, and we would like proceed with the development in a day or two. Like I would just gather more information for some days, and I would start building after 1 or 2 days again. You can just gather the information till then. So it was great meeting you guys, and we can just gather more information and come back in the next week. So have a great week. Yeah, bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. Thank you everyone for joining and bye bye.